Prince put me through the ringer. He is very, very particular. He's very hands-on. He's a perfectionist. He knows what he wants. And in fact, the day that he came in, he kept changing the game plan. And I remember thinking, I'm going to take a stand. He's put me through the ringer. I got my entire staff mad
at take a stand.
He's changing stuff. Yeah. And I'm going to take a stand because I know he's going to come up with some shit. He's going to come up with something new today, and I'm going to take a stand. So sure enough.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. So the assigned producer was this producer who I've known for a while. I actually worked with her prior on Tavis Smiley. She was also at Arsenio. And she had went in to greet him. She had gone in to greet him. And she told me, she goes, hey, he wants to ask you a question. He has something he wants to change. I said, okay. So I went in there, and Prince always called you sir. He never called you by your name. He'd be like, sir. So I have this idea for my first number and how I want to have myself revealed. I need it to be a reveal. I said, okay, like, what are you thinking? Like a curtain?
A what?
Like a reveal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I said, what are you thinking? Are you thinking like a curtain? You know, like, what are we thinking? A fog machine? I'm trying to think of what's easy. I'm throwing out my ideas because I know we have a fog machine back there. I know we got this, and that, blah. And then he says something that literally made my knees buckle. Because mind you, we're about an hour from starting the tape, and we got an audience waiting outside to be loaded in. And he goes, I want to be standing on the stage when the curtains open, and I want a purple tornado to be swirling around me. And I'm thinking, I said, wait, what? What'd you say? He goes, sir, a purple tornado to be swirling around me, and then it just swirls up and reveals me. And this is the moment where I said, okay, this is where I take a stand. Because A, we're an hour.
I'm going to have to take a stand at this point.
Yes, I'll take a stand. And then B, how the hell are we going to make a purple tornado? Is he joking with me? So I told him, I said, you know what? We're about an hour from loading in the audience. I feel that we've compromised with all the changes. And right now, there really isn't a sufficient amount of time to do this. So I can't make it work. And then I see him just look over at Theo, his chief of staff, and look over at whoever else was in there. And then I just decided, okay, so I'll come back if you guys need anything. And I walked away and I left, and he came running after me. And then he goes, Theo came running after me. He goes, you don't say no to Prince. I'm like, I get it. I know. But how am I going to make it?
You broke the rules.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, you broke the booking contract. And I remember thinking, how am I going to make a tornado? It's just not going to work. And then he goes, you're just going to have to figure it out. I said, okay. So I go to, thank God we had an amazing team of prop masters and so on. And I go to them and I'm like, guys, don't kill me. Prince wants to be, and I didn't want to go to my showrunner because he wanted to kill me at this point. I said, Prince has a new change. He wants to have a reveal. He wants a purple tornado. And they looked at each other. And I thought they were just going to laugh. But then they started sitting down and putting their minds together. I'm thinking, okay, they're working on this. I don't know what they're going to do, but they're working on this. And one of them goes, okay, we can go to the prop house down the street over at so-and-so studio on, I forget the name of it, but it's the one on Sunset and Gower. And he goes, I know they got some of this. What I could do is get like a tarp, and we'll get a rig that they use for Cirque du Soleil where it twirls and spins around, and we'll put it up on the rafters, and we'll have it spin and raise up. I'm like, oh, okay, good. I hear you guys. No need to explain it to me. Just great.
Don't tell me. Just do it.
Do it, please. We're running out of time. I don't know how he did it, but within 20 minutes, I see someone carrying this long velvet purple tarp, and I'm thinking, oh my God. So he comes and he goes, oh. So I discovered this Cirque du Soleil twirling mortar that I talked about. It's not going to work. It's going to compromise the rafters that we have. So we can't use this. It's just going to twirl and it's just not going to work. And I said, okay. And he goes, so what I'm going to do, and we'll run it by him, but I'm thinking we can just rig it to the rafter and we'll have Prince stand behind it and it'll just drop down and it will reveal him. I said, it's not a purple tornado. He said, that's all I can do. I said, okay. So I went in and I explained it to them. I said, look, I tried. Can we? And I explained what we were going to do. And he goes, I'm
sorry.
Yeah, I know I was hiding. He was like, and he goes,
sorry.
I need to see how it works. That's the only option. Okay. So he comes out to the stage. We had to clear the stage. We had to clear the audience. I'm standing there with my assistant, Christeo, and then the talent coordinator, Brian. And we rig it. They have it rigged. And he goes, it's just going to drop. Prince, do you want to stand behind her so we can run the test? And he goes, no, I need someone else to stand in for me. I don't know how that's going to drop. And we said, okay. I said, hey, Brian, do you mind standing over there? And Brian, he's my color, my height, and he's about to go over there. And he goes, sir, I need someone who's closer to my height because it just might not work. And I look over at Christea, who is his color and who's his height. And no, she's actually taller, but still short. So she goes over and stands behind the purple tarp. And then they start playing the beat. He goes, cue the music, whatever. And then they start playing it. Prince is standing behind me. I'm sitting in the audience section, sitting down. So I'm one level below him. So I'm a little low. And he's standing behind me. And the tarp drops on cue. And it just drapes over Christea. And she's like, and she throws it off. And we all start dying laughing. And I'm cracking up. I'm like, dying because it's her. And I look at Prince when I turn around. And I swear to God, he's looking at me. I want to get the angle right, but he's like this. Just glaring at me. And his look is basically saying, motherfucker, that would have been me. And I'm like, oh, he didn't even have to say anything. He just gave me the daggers. And I said, okay, guys, can we do that again? Can we get that right? Because we want to fall on Prince. And they had to do it a few times until they got it right. And they got it right. And then, at this point, my shooter is pissed. Why isn't the audience loaded in? What are we doing? Why are we wasting everyone's damn time? Get it together. Get him ready. He's screaming at me. And this is after Prince goes back to the green room, but he's screaming at me on stage. And at this point, I'd never screamed back at my showrunner. I was pissed. I was like, you have no idea what I had to put up with this week. I had to do this 100% by myself, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And he kept changing it. You think I wanted him to change it? We're screaming at each other. And he's like, Chris, just fucking get it done. Get it going. And he walks away and storms off. And I'm like, ah! And I turn around and I look off to the side and I see one of Prince's, I think he was one of the musicians in his band. I swear to God. He looks at me and he goes, and I'm like, and then he goes, and I'm thinking, why did he just do that? And I go over and I say, what was that about? And he goes, oh, you think you got it hard. I deal with this shit 24/7.